Hi there and welcome back to my channel. This is Sean, the Honest Book Reviewer, with another book review. In this video we're discussing The Christmas Eve Murders, written by Noelle Albright. It's an arc read for me, it's a cozy mystery, and I want to read this because it's set at Christmas Eve, like the title says. I want to see how a mystery would play out during Christmas. The marketing for this book suggests this book is suitable for people who like Richard Osman or Agatha Christie. I'd say Christie yes, Osman no. I'm not sure why it is that so many books at least published in the last maybe 3 to 6 months stating suitable for fans of Richard Osman. I'm not sure why it is. I've seen it quite often, and every time I've seen it lately I don't see a link there at all between Richard Osman and the book I'm reading. So I'm not sure what the marketing is about that. Maybe they think if they say that people are going to buy it anyway. I'm not sure. But if you're a reader who pays attention to things like that, don't always think that the marketing is telling you the truth, because I just think it's there to sell books in most cases. At the start of the book, our protagonist Maddie is driving on her way to her parents' house for Christmas Eve. She's driving through the snow, it's snowing actively, and then her car breaks down seemingly in the middle of nowhere, and she has no cell reception, so she thinks she's stuck. She has no idea where to go. Another character called Curtis knocks on her window suddenly, and he has a dog called Barkley. He's got his dog with him, and he tells her there's a pub about a mile away. He's going there because it's Christmas Eve. He's going there to have a few drinks, and then they have a scavenger hunt on Christmas Eve every year at this pub. He doesn't want to miss out on that. And he tells Maddie to come with him and make a call from there. And if worse comes to worse, there's rooms there she can stay. And also, she can join in the scavenger hunt. She thinks, well, why not? I'm not doing anything else. I'm stuck now. I'm going to go there. So this pub, the start of this book, is very festive. We have great characters there. We have quite a slow build-up to when it changes in tone when a murder happens. And I like that in this story. I did like the slow build-up because we get to meet the characters in great detail. We have this friendly and festive atmosphere. I loved the atmosphere in the pub and those characters, getting to know them. And I just liked that whole setup so much in this book. Maddie contacts, the automobile service. They're going to come the next day or so. She contacts her parents, and then the phone cuts off in mid-conversation, and she can't make a phone call out. It seems like the phone lines are down from the storm. And then she's stuck there, she thinks, so she gets a room, she gets a meal, and then she decides, okay, I'll join the scavenger hunt. So we've got this festive thing going on still in the story. And then during the very start of the scavenger hunt, all the lights go out. The characters are in different rooms, different areas of this pub. Complete darkness, they can't see. And suddenly they hear a scream. And I'll leave that detail of the plot there. I'll just say that from that moment when that scream happens, the tone changes in the story. It's a great way it changes. It's not a sudden jolt, it feels quite natural. So you have this very festive and light-hearted tone right up to that moment. And then we have this tense tone, this urgency in the book, this tension and this suspense hanging around the story from that moment on. And that festive feeling has gone completely in the book from that moment. I like the switch, it's well done. I like the way it's managed, I like the way it's written. It feels so natural, it feels effortless when you read it. You don't notice it really when you're reading it, it just happens. So I do enjoy that in this book very much. What I also like about this book is its writing style. It flows well. It's very accessible. It takes you into the story very easily. It feels effortless when you read it. I think a book like this, especially a cozy mystery, especially set it during Christmas time with this festive feeling, if you have to work hard to read the book, I think it won't work. You want a great flow, you want great characters, a great tone and feeling, and this book provides that definitely. And while I mention that tone and feeling, during that slow lead up, which I did enjoy, what it does very well is it just gives you a complete picture of characters and setting. So when the big shift happens, when a murder happens, and the tone and feel changes, when it's more urgent, when you want to solve that crime rather than having this laid back feel, we get to know the characters already. So you're not breaking up that urgent flow, that urgent tension feel from that moment of the story with getting to know characters in detail because we know them already. And we learn what we know about them through Maddie's perspective. And that's clever as well because Maddie's a stranger and she's just meeting these people for the first time. So are her perceptions accurate or not? That's a big question mark in this story, and I enjoyed that, the way it's managed in this book, especially when that tone shifts and we're wondering who the culprit is. Is it somebody in this pub or it's somebody outside? And Maddie's wondering that as well. Who could it be? Because some characters in this book are police characters. We have two people who are on the police force in this pub at the time. And are they guilty? Are they suspects? There's great things happening between characters in this book. This book is at once a locked room mystery and a closed circle mystery, which I enjoy both those tropes. And they're both managed very well in this story. And I just like the way everything is managed about that mystery. I think it's quite clever in that way. It does feel like Agatha Christie in that way. And the reason I say a Christie feel is I think with Agatha Christie, her mysteries weren't always intricate. It was more about atmosphere and characters and tone and feel than intricacies. But I think Agatha Christie wrote that very well. And this book borrows from that, I think, and even maybe just develops that a bit more in the tone and feel before, in the festive feel, and also in the after feel when the murder happens. So I think definitely a book for Agatha Christie fans. Something I didn't like in this book though is there's too much dialogue for me. I know it's a personal thing, so I know there are readers out there who like a lot of dialogue. I'm not one of those readers. I do like dialogue. I mean, dialogue is good in a story. But big chunks of dialogue where it just rips you out a little bit of atmosphere, not that good in my view, especially in a book like this where atmosphere was being done so well. I think sometimes less dialogue and more just description in a narrative can go a long way, especially with atmosphere, because it's very hard, I think, to bring atmosphere in dialogue. It's not that easy. It can be done, but I think it's very difficult for most authors. I think big chunks of dialogue is a definite mix for less atmosphere in a story, in a scene. So in my view, too much dialogue sometimes for me, but I think the atmosphere when the rest of the book is done very well. Maddie is our protagonist and written very well. What I like about this character is she's a stranger in this mix of family and friends and locals, and we get to meet them for the first time through Maddie. It's not written like first person point of view, but I do like just the way that things are introduced after Maddie arrives at this pub. I like her observations, I like her thoughts, I like the way that's managed through the whole story. Her personality, I think, is well balanced and spot on for a book like this. A great character in a cozy mystery, and I do hope we get more than one book with Maddie. I've got a feeling we may see more books, maybe just a sequel, hopefully more, but I think Maddie is a character that does deserve more books. Curtis in this book I thought was wonderful. One of my favourite local characters in this book, and I think the way he's written is just spot on. There's great balance in his character, great personality, great depth. I like his dog. I'm not a dog person. I do like his dog Barkley. I like their interactions, that relationship they have. I just like the way he's detailed in this book. I like his dialogue. I like his own observations. I like his cheekiness. I just like everything there is about this character. Alex is one of the police officers in this story. I do think he's written well. I think he's better written in the first part of the book, in that more festive part, than in the murder mystery part, for a few reasons. So in the murder mystery part, I think he has too much dialogue and not enough kind of narrative detail about him. So it decreases the complexity about this character a little bit. I think the book does push too hard to try to make him a red herring or a suspect. So I think in that way, it pushes too hard and it reduces the character a little bit, in my eyes, in the story. But overall, he's a good character, and he is a character I'd like to see in future books. So I'm kind of hoping that both Maddie and Alex appear in future books. I'm hoping that. It doesn't have to be a Christmas book. Maybe the author can write an Easter book or a Halloween book, keep everything in a theme, I don't know. But I would like to see both of them in future books. I was personally surprised with this book. I enjoyed it a lot, and I rate it a 3.5 out of 5. Cozy mystery fans will enjoy this book definitely. General mystery fans, I'm not sure. I think it's a very strong cozy mystery. I don't think it's a general mystery at all. But there's enough there, I think, to attract people who may be on the border. So if you like cozy mysteries that a more general mystery in feel, you might like this. But if you like cozy mysteries, I'm sure you'll love it. On my channel, I review many cozy mysteries. If you enjoy cozy mysteries, check out my channel and subscribe. On the screen now is a link to another video for a book I'm sure you'll enjoy.